All right, welcome back. The parents of three Wisconsin middle school students are asking their school district to stop a sexual harassment investigation into their sons and clear their records. The district charged the boys with violating Title IX, the civil rights law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in education settings. Now, the probe stemmed from a complaint about the boys not using the preferred pronouns of other students. And joining us now is Rose Rabideau. She is one of the parents of one of the boys accused of sexual harassment in this case. Alongside her is her attorney, Luke Berg. He's an attorney at the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. So nice to have you both with us.
Thank you for having us.
Rose, I read this story yesterday and it just made my blood boil because I thought about all the stupid things I used to say when I was in middle school. And how are we going to hold these kids to account for something like this? I mean, it just seems ridiculous.
It is. It is, absolutely. They're kids, you know, and the they, them pronouns, they're plural and they're difficult to say. And so my son and I had talked about it when he learned, and we had come to an agreement that he would just call the student by name, by her first name. And
so it wasn't even, you know, calling them something they didn't want to be called, just calling them their name given to them by their parents.
That's correct. And he did, you know, he did slip. He accidentally and then corrected himself. But the sexual harassment allegations, you know, are stemmed from him standing up for another student. It's not the fact that he was intentionally trying to call her the wrong pronoun. He told me that he had a difficult time with it, and I told him to use her name, the student's name.
It makes you think of whatever happened to the idea that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I guess we've moved on from that as a country. Now, Luke, you issued a letter to the administrators at the Kiel area school district there to drop the investigation into these kids. Title IX states that sexual harassment covers things like rape, sexual assault, dating violence, stalking, inappropriate touching, and quid pro quo sexual favors. So where do pronouns fit into this? I'm confused.
We're as confused as you are. And I'll admit, when I first heard about this, I thought, this can't be real. There has to be more to the story. And we talked to the boys and looked at all of the things in the complaint, and there's just nothing more there. The school district's theory appears to be that any misuse of pronouns is automatically punishable speech as sexual harassment under Title IX. And that's terrifying. It's a pretty clear First Amendment violation. And schools also shouldn't be using the sexual harassment process as a weapon to force students into their preferred mode of speaking. Lots of people have reasonable objection to the idea that gender is self-declared, and that's okay. People can have that view. Obviously, it's not appropriate to tease and harass, but that can be dealt with if that's happening, but shouldn't be dealt with through the sexual harassment process.
So Luke and Rose, what's the next step here? When do you expect to hear something back from the school board, or how does this proceed?
Well, we asked the district to dismiss the charges. We're trying to give them the opportunity to do the right thing here, to admit that this was a mistake and a gross overreach and wildly out of proportion to what we're talking about. So we're hoping that they will still do the right thing. We gave them 6 business days, so until this Friday, to respond. We're asking them to dismiss the charges, to clear the boys' records, and to make changes to make clear that this never happens again to other students. This has actually been a pattern in the school districts. I'm aware of another family that has received a sexual harassment charge for a single comment, mispronouncing allegedly. So this is the district's position that they're taking, and they need to make changes to it. And that's part of why we're calling attention to it publicly, because they need to be shamed, and this needs to change.
It's true. I mean, it's just so ridiculous that the long-term implications from accusing somebody of sexual harassment for something like this. How is Brandon doing, Rose, amid all this controversy?
Right. So the one question that he had when we were interrogated, for lack of a better term, was to ask the principal, what is this going to do to my permanent record? Am I going to be able to get into college? Am I going to be able to get scholarships? And he couldn't respond. He didn't know. And he didn't look like he much cared.
Well, the whole thing about being a middle schooler is you need to be able to make some mistakes. I'm not calling this a mistake, but you need to have some tolerance for learning. And it doesn't appear like this school district is interested in that at all. Keep us posted, guys, and we will definitely follow up with you on this. That's a shame that it's happening. Rose
Thank you.
Ribideau and
Yeah,
Luke
thank you.
Berg, her attorney. Thanks, guys.